My name is Charlotte Harper. I was born in Oregon on a mild, sunny early spring morning with sparrows chirping outside the hospital window. 4 minutes later, my sister, technically my twin sister, Caroline Harper, entered the world. 4 minutes. Such a small gap, most would laugh and say, "You're twins, that's basically the same." But to our parents, those 4 minutes marked the invisible boundary between being loved and being overlooked. Even in my earliest memories, I could feel the difference. Not in things I could explain then, but in the small, subtle moments. The hugs I didn't get, the glances that passed over me, the way I was always somehow an afterthought. Caroline was always first. My mother, Linda, called her my little angel. I was just, "Charlotte, please stay quiet while Mommy's busy." Caroline got the pink bike with a flower basket before I even learned to ride. I got Lily's old one, worn brakes, torn seat. When we joined ballet class at 6, Caroline wore a custom-made, sparkly white tutu. I wore last year's faded costume that barely reached my knees. At 7, Caroline scraped her knee on the backyard slide. Mom rushed out, crying like it was the end of the world. For a week, she told the story to friends, neighbors, even the mailman. I fell out of the tallest apple tree in our yard, dirt all over my face, knees scraped and bleeding. My dad looked out the window and said, "Charlotte's tough. Let her figure it out. No hug, no help, just a Band-Aid and a go wash your hands." I learned early, don't cry, don't need, don't hope. But I held on to one thing, writing. In 4th grade, my essay about summer vacation was selected to be read to the whole school. For the first time, people clapped for me. Not because I was Caroline's sister, but because of me. I looked into the crowd and saw Mom clapping while admiring Caroline's dress. So I kept writing, small stories, private sadness, quiet dreams. I wrote what I couldn't say out loud. The only person who saw me was Grandma Margaret. She visited rarely, but always brought warmth. She called me Little Leahy and gave me a wooden hair clip with my name carved on the back. "It's not expensive," she whispered, "but it's one of a kind, just like you." That clip became my armor. Caroline got a 3-story dollhouse for Christmas. I got a notebook. Mom said I seemed like the writing type. I smiled and thanked her, then cried silently into my pillow, hugging the notebook. In high school, I scored a perfect mark on Oregon's state language arts exam, a rare achievement. The principal sent a letter home. Caroline got a B+ in history. Mom told every neighbor. Even then, I kept pushing. I joined the journalism club, wrote for the school paper, volunteered at the library, entered competitions. Caroline made a clay volcano that didn't work. I built a water filtration system and won 2nd place in the school science fair. Mom? Taking pictures of Caroline with the volcano. "My little artist," she said. I walked home alone, my award wrapped in my coat as it began to rain. Dad was watching TV. I showed him my certificate. "You're a smart kid," he said. "I know you'll be fine. Not good job, not I'm proud of you, just you'll be fine." I didn't want praise. I just wanted to be seen. Eventually, I stopped trying to earn it. I applied to Columbia State University's accounting program. Caroline applied too. Same major. Mom just said, "It's a stable career." Move-in day. Caroline had both parents, a carload of supplies, a dorm with a view. I checked in alone into a tiny, damp basement room. They paid all her tuition. She got a new laptop, credit card, monthly allowance. I had a partial scholarship. I cleaned classrooms in the morning, worked as a library assistant at night. One time, while mopping the 3rd floor, I overheard Caroline laughing. "My sister's probably cleaning something." I kept working. Professor Allen noticed me. "Charlotte, you've got what it takes," he said. "There's a winter internship. Interested?" I was stunned. I called Mom to share. She responded, That's nice. Caroline just signed up for yoga. I didn't get mad. I just stopped expecting. I applied. I got the internship. I also took a senior-level course in financial, risk management, volunteered at workshops, joined CPA prep seminars. One day, Professor Allen pulled me aside. A regional firm is looking for summer interns. Want me to recommend you? Yes, I said, heart pounding. 3 weeks later, I got the offer. Unpaid, but invaluable. I woke at 6 a.m., worked until 5, studied until midnight. And then I heard about the Weston G. Brandt Scholarship, only 6 awarded nationwide, nearly perfect GPA, essay, 2 recommendations. Professor Allen handed me a thick envelope. No need to thank me, just keep going. I sent my application. 2 months later, while sweeping in the library, I got the email. Congratulations, Charlotte Harper. I didn't cry. I stood still, tears running silently. The award packet arrived. I opened it alone. Inside, an invitation to the National Recognition Ceremony in Chicago. Plus a line, you may bring 2 guests. I hesitated, then called home. Mom, I won the Brandt Scholarship. Ceremony's next month. I can bring 2 people. I'd love for you to come. Oh, that sounds nice, she said. David, Charlotte said something about a scholarship. Dad, she's a smart kid. We knew she'd be fine. I didn't know what I expected. Maybe I'm proud of you. Instead, I'll check the calendar. I hung up, placed the phone down, and stared at my reflection. The little girl who once clutched a Christmas notebook still waited. But I didn't cry. I flew to Chicago, alone. Wore the black dress I saved months to buy, wrote a dash in the guests section. When my name was called, the announcer said, Charlotte Harper, Columbia State University, a self-made success, a quiet force of resilience and excellence, applause, lights, recognition. But I looked at the empty third-row seats, and I stood taller anyway. Later, I stepped outside and called Grandma. There you are, she said. I knew you'd do it. I cried. I wish you were here. I am, in your heart. Always. Back at the hotel, I opened a note from the scholarship. Director, we didn't choose you just for your grades, Charlotte, but for your story. You built your own road. Now walk through the door. And I knew. I didn't need them to see me. I saw myself. And finally, that was enough. The building stood in the heart of downtown Chicago, elegant and grand. As I stepped into the lobby, the space felt almost unreal. A red carpet stretched from the entrance, white floral arrangements edged with silver adorned every podium, and the chandeliers refracted the light into 1,000 glimmers across the students' gowns. I wore a simple black dress and clutched my worn-out handbag. I felt like I had stepped into another world. I arrived early and quietly took a seat near the back of the hall. Around me, families laughed, embraced, and whispered words of pride. Children straightened their fathers' ties, guided their mothers to photo booths. I pressed my lips together and looked away. The program began. The host walked to the stage, calling each honoree forward. Many had created apps for small businesses, won awards in financial risk, or led initiatives I admired. I clapped for each of them, not out of formality, but because I understood what it took to stand on that stage. Then they called my name. Charlotte Harper, Columbia State University, a student who didn't wait for opportunity. She built her own. Scholarships earned, internships secured, tuition paid by her own effort. Charlotte is the embodiment of resilience, independence, and quiet determination. Applause filled the hall as I stepped up. I kept my head high, accepted my certificate, shook hands, smiled. I didn't glance at the crowd until the camera flash caught me turning. And then I saw them. Caroline, in a deep red dress, clutching her purse, eyes wide. My father stared as if stunned. My mother, expressionless. I didn't know how they got there. Maybe Caroline brought them, but I didn't react. No wave, no smile. Later, recruiters swirled through the hall, introducing themselves, handing out cards. A woman in a teal suit approached me. Lucinda Parks, Everin and Co. We were impressed by your profile. I'd love to discuss a full-time position at our Manhattan office. Thank you, I said. That's always been my dream. Then I heard footsteps. My mother. Charlotte, I didn't realize this would be such a big deal, she said. I didn't know you had done so much. Because you never asked, I replied. She froze. Caroline stood behind her, eyes darting. My father added, Why didn't you tell us? We could have helped. I gave a soft smile. I spent my whole life trying to be seen by you, but now I know I don't need that anymore. I turned and walked toward the recruiters, toward my future. That night, back in my hotel room, the city cold outside, I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel regret. I felt a quiet stillness, as if I had finally stopped waiting. The next morning, as I packed, my phone rang. Caroline. I hesitated, then answered. Can I come by? Just a few minutes, she asked. 30 minutes later, she arrived. No makeup, hoodie, jeans. She stood awkwardly, then sat across from me. Last night, watching you on that stage, I finally realized how little I knew about you. She swallowed. Now Mom and Dad keep bringing you up as an example. They say I need to grow up. It used to be you in my shadow. Now it's me in yours. That feeling's familiar, I said. I lived with it for 20 years. She looked down. Did you ever wish I would just disappear? I thought of late nights eating noodles, of cleaning classrooms at dawn, of watching my test scores get buried in drawers. No, I said. I just wanted to be seen. She nodded. I used to think you were cold, but now